Welcome back to another episode of Smitty Snippets. Today, boys and girls, we are reviewing Bad Boys Ride or Die. I'm going to be as honest as I can right about now. I did not want to see this movie. I did not want to go. Okay, the only reason I went is because my boy asked me. And I was like, I thought that this was a phenomenal movie. I loved watching this movie. Okay, would I go back and see it again? Yep. I think with episode 3 was missing a lot of what was in episode or in the first movie, right? You had the iconic scene with Will and Marcus being chased by the taxi and Mike having to catch up to Marcus and get him out of the way. The Porsche scene at the end of the movie where they were driving like and he had to catch the bad guy who was driving the I think it was a Shelby. So all those scenes were amazing and they were missing in 2 and 3, but you got them back in this movie. If you haven't figured it out by now, there will be spoilers. My apologies. I'm sorry about that, but I cannot talk about this movie without spoiling it. And it was so good. It's been out for a minute, so I figured we could talk about it. So here's the plot of this movie. The chief has been framed as a thief and a drug dealer, or he's moving weight, I guess, in Miami. Oh, I don't know why you would think that your police chief is doing this after he's had one of the biggest drug busts in Miami as far as episode 1 of Bad Boys, but nonetheless, they think that he is dirty and don't even give it a second thought. IA, FBI, all think that he's dirty. They don't even give it a second look. But the only ones who don't are Mike and Marcus. That's pretty much the plot of this. Now, time to go into things. One thing that I kind of didn't understand, and then go into everything that I loved about this movie. The one thing I didn't understand is in the previous movie, in 3, Mike made up with his son, right? He had kind of let his guard down a little bit before he went to jail, and he told him that he would see him after, and he would do anything that he could for him while he was in to try to make, his stint in prison a little bit better and try to do anything for him. And that was fine. Like I could get with that. I understood that. But in this one, they made him like completely cold, like they hadn't made up at all. I didn't understand that part. I felt like they should have been more of a duo at that point, but I can kind of understand you didn't want to take Marcus's shine, right? If you pair him up with his son, then that kind of pushes Marcus out of the way, and you really don't need him at that point. So I understand the reason for doing it, but it just didn't make a lot of sense in comparison to how the last movie ended. After what Will Smith had done to Chris Rock, I didn't want to like this movie. I didn't want to, right? But when I went in here, I found myself chuckling a little bit, having a good time, enjoying myself. The comedy was on point. The comedy was on point, and I hated myself for loving this movie, but it was good. The action was fantastic. Martin playing Marcus Burnett, he did a phenomenal job. His comedy was on point. I mean, he didn't hit with everything, but most of it was landing pretty good. And he's going through some things, as you'll find. I don't want to give the whole movie away. He's going through some things. It seems like every movie he goes through something specific that he has to deal with on his own. But his comedy landed, and Mike kind of assisted with that. He was pretty funny too. So damn it, I hated myself for loving this movie, but I did. So in this movie, Marcus has a condition that he's trying to deal with, or that he has to deal with, and it's Mike's job to try to keep him on the straight and narrow. He can't eat whatever he wants to anymore, so he's trying to ensure that he follows this strict like diet. And Mike himself is dealing with things of his own as he is now married, and he feels like he's afraid to lose um the stuff that he has. He realizes he has a son now, so that's kind of in his mind, just bumping around all the time. He has a wife now. He Mike or Marcus is he's got an illness that he has to deal with. So all of these things are kind of weighing on Mike, and he kind of gets these panic attacks now. And sometimes they hit at the wrong time, but that sets up probably one of the greatest scenes in this movie towards the end that I really, really loved. And I wish I had it to present to you, but I can't. So you just have to watch this movie for yourself and trust me that it's one of the greatest scenes in this movie.
I got this. What you don't know.
Probably my favorite scene in this entire movie was Reggie. Reggie, oh my God, Reggie killed it. Reggie killed it. I did not know that Reggie was going to handle his business like that, but Reggie did his thing in this movie. So again, if you have not seen it, you definitely need to go watch. That is the second scene I'm talking about. Just to kind of set it up for you, Reggie is at the house by himself, and there are a lot of people who are showing up to do some damage. And Reggie is now a trained Marine. I salute you, Reggie. And yeah, he handles his business, handles his business in here to the point where everybody in the theater was losing their mind. Everybody. There's not a lot more I can really say about Bad Boys other than it was fun. It was a fun movie that it was a little, yeah, it was a little hard to believe at times, but who cares? Like, it's Bad Boy, and it had that those scenes that you were craving that made it all worth it. You had like this the whole comeback thing, and Marcus and Mike being together. I don't know if it's the last time. Marcus looking kind of, he looking a little, old ish. You know, no hate, Martin, but he just seemed like he a little up there to be doing all the running around that is required for a movie like this, falling down and being flipped over, stuff like that. So if this is the last movie, I think they did a phenomenal job, and I'm happy with the way that they wrapped it up. They did a very very nice job, and you can't ask for much more. So they brought everybody back. They even did some of the scenes. They mimicked some of the scenes from their other movies, like in the first movie where after he saves Marcus, they stand up together. You get the slow shot as they stand up. The camera goes around. And you're gonna see that in this movie. So a lot of the things that you liked from the original movie are taking place in this. And again, it is a very fun movie. You'll enjoy yourself, and I believe they made 33 million in the second week, which is kind of baffling, a little bit unheard of. So this is a good movie. If you're looking for something to watch, you are sick and tired of watching Acolyte or these dumb movies that don't make any sense, like The Fall Guy or any of these movies, go watch Bad Boys. I promise you, it is a good time. And I'm talking about, I didn't want to see it at all. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So go watch this. I love y'all. Thank you for hanging out. And now I got to get ready for Acolyte because that shit comes out tonight. So back at it, I guess. I love y'all. Comment below. Let me know what's going on. Did you watch this? What did you think of it? Did you lose your mind in the theater like all the other black people in my theater? Thank you for watching. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all for the next one. All right, man. Watch this video right there, wherever it's at. Watch it, and let me know what you think. All right, love y'all. Holla.